Today, Love Your Doorstep TV is at Chase Farm Hospital. We've got an interview with the Hospital Director Fiona Jackson. After putting up on Love Your Doorstep last week that the urgent care centre is about to be moved, we decided to take your questions, the community's questions, to Fiona, who we will be interviewing shortly. Now, as you know, Chase Farm Hospital was bought by the Royal Free last July. Lots of changes are going on here, and today we're really hoping to get to the bottom of a lot of those questions that you all have.
Great. Okay, so I'm really excited to be in this job at Chase Farm. I became Chase Farm Hospital Director last July when the Royal Free acquired Barrington Chase Farm Trust. So I've only been here for a year within the role I'm in, but actually in the late 70s when I first qualified as a physiotherapist, I came here as my very first job working within the NHS. So it's somewhere that really is sort of dear to my heart. Since then I've lived in the area since the early 1980s, and I've had 3 daughters, all born on the Chase Farm site, all born in the 80s, and my 3 daughters who are married now all live within the Enfield area, as do I within Winchmore Hills. So it's a real privilege to be within the role that I'm in. So yes, the urgent care centre is being moved. In fact, next week it's moving overnight on the night of the 4th. So it will be fully operational by the 5th. So the reason that we're going to be moving urgent care is because that part of the building is actually going to be knocked down in order to create a wonderful new hospital. It's going to be open in 2018. So that's why it's being moved. Once we've moved that service, it won't move again until 2018 when we move into the new hospital. So the centre itself is called the Urgent Care and Women's and Children's Centre. So within that block, which is the block as you come up to the side entrance to the hospital where Hunter's Way is, that block is straight in front of you when you come in. So that block will host urgent care and women's services and children's services. The women's element will be on the upper floor, and the women's services will include antenatal as well as colposcopy and gynecology as well. The great thing is now, for the first time, we're going to be having the paediatric assessment unit and the rest of children's services located together. But on the question about the opening of A&E, we haven't been commissioned to provide an A&E by our commissioners who pay for the service, and an A&E aren't in the plans for us to be providing an A&E. Our urgent care department sees patients with all sorts of minor illnesses and injuries as well. And if you're not clear, then just look on the website to see the range of conditions that we do see. Obviously for major things, patients do require to go to A&E. But for most patients that require an urgent care department, the experience is much better because actually the waiting time is much less than that it will be within A&E. Just so you're aware, since the Barnet, Enfield and Harrogate strategy was put into place, there has been no birth on this site, and that will remain the same. So you would be able to be referred to Barnet or North Middlesex to actually deliver your baby, but you would be able to come here for your antenatal appointments if that's more convenient for you. So there will be a 3-form entry primary school on this site. I really can't tell you any further details because that's really within Enfield Council and the Education Department's forum. So actually I would suggest anybody that wants to know more about the plans for the school, do speak to the Education Department to be able to give you more information. There will be housing on this site. Around about 500 dwellings will be on the site, so that the housing will be part for nursing staff and doctors that are on the site. There will be part affordable housing. The majority of the housing will be sold by a private developer because we actually did need to ensure that we got the maximum we possibly could for the land in order to support the funding of the new hospital. We haven't sold the land yet, so we don't know who the developer will be, but as soon as we do know that, we will be able to share that with the community as well. But the majority of the land won't actually be sold until we've actually moved all the services into the hospital. From now until 2018, there'll be no disruption to services. In 2018, all the services will move into the new hospital, but from now until then, services will run as they are at the present time. We've provided maps already, and people can look on the website to see any maps we have. For patients that do have appointments coming up, we've sent them directions to any new locations if there are services that have been relocated. There's been things in the paper recently, and also we've sent out notification to all GPs across the area. During the summer, we will be working with you and love your doorstep, Emma. So it'd be really good if we can keep on working together to actually ensure that members are able to get that information. If there is any anxiety, and before you come to the site, please do phone up the service beforehand, and they'll be very happy to help you and to give you clear directions. The multi-storey is quite far away from the new block. You're absolutely right. So what we've decided to do is we've opened out new parking, which was previously for staff members on site, specifically for patients that are attending that new block. The plans for the new site are very, very exciting. So the new hospital will be open in 2018. We will have the same range of services we have here at the present time, which is around urgent care, which is very, very busy. We'll have women's and children's and all the range of outpatient services, rehabilitation services, and a large elective unit, plus additional endoscopy units as well. So those are the services that will be here. There are also stakeholder events that we've invited community groups to, as well as council and other organisations to be coming to actually be able to actually contribute to our plans as well. It's a great opportunity. It's going to be a lovely new building, and we're going to try to maintain as many of the trees on site as we have. The centrepiece as you come in, the circle you come in where there's a lovely cedar tree right in the middle, that will be remaining. So that's very much a part, and I know it's very loved by Enfield people, so that will be being maintained. Car parking will be extended for the new hospital because all the parking will be within the multi-storey, and then there'll be an extended block on from the multi-storey as well to ensure that we have sufficient parking on this site. Within the Highlands block, we are maintaining the Highlands block, and on the ground floor of Highlands block will be the rehabilitation units, which will be for stroke rehabilitation as well as general rehabilitation. Within that, we are developing a rehabilitation garden, which is happening as we speak at the moment. We've recently secured funding from the Chase Farm charity that are actually helping to develop that garden for our patients. And a lot of work is being done with our therapists who actually understand the benefit of gardening for patients recovering from stroke or for other reasons. So what I would like to say is that the Royal Free has very strong values which are very much around putting patients in the heart of everything we do. And they are aligned to my values and the values that I've had since I very first qualified. So to work in an organisation with very strong values around patient care within an environment that's very dear to my heart, both on a personal and a professional level, is a complete privilege.
Okay.
Lovely, thank you very much indeed.